Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another exciting episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second quarter, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man who actually graduated from the Nightmare Factory Class 3. And he also made his debut at the following Nightmare Factory Students Showcase 3 as one half of one of the most impressive tag teams that we've seen, Rum and Coke. And they actually got a victory over some very intimidating opponents in Coach Young and Sanson. Everybody, welcome to the show, Pretty Papi.
Woo! Well, it's about damn time. Remy, my guy, you had me waiting over 2 hours for this interview to start. I got things to do, man. I got people to see. I got women to see. But you know what? All I got to say to that is I forgive you.
Pretty Papi, thanks, man. Hey, for those y'all wondering, we had some foreseen circumstances happen earlier that we couldn't really control, so we apologize for the delay. If you're watching this and not watching Monday Night Raw, then I really and truly thank you and I applaud you, because I know that Monday Night Raw compared to us is like we're like this and they're like all the way up here, especially with Cody and now being on WWE and everybody being excited to see him and the Miz and what the tribal chief is gonna say during the show and all that stuff. We really and truly thank you and are very grateful if you're actually watching, or even if you're multitasking, watching Raw and listening to us. 100% gratitude to y'all that are doing so. Thank you. We know we owe y'all big time for our 3-year anniversary. We're still working on that. We're gonna have a 3rd-year anniversary giveaway because it's been 3 years since we started doing this and doing it well. So we haven't forgotten about that. But with that being said, not about us. Pretty Papi, how you doing today, man?
Hey, Remy, I'm doing good, man. And don't have to apologize, man. I understand things happen last minute. It's the name of the game, man. You got to be prepared and you got to be able to, work on the fly. So I
Yeah.
understand, man. But you know what? Any questions you have, ask away.
Well, I gotta say, man, I just gotta say, first off, congratulations on. I know it's been a year, but congratulations on actually, taking the step up from fan to pro wrestler and actually graduating with the Nightmare Factory, the 3rd class actually, which has actually included others such as Sanson, your tag team partner Dominic Teixeira, the other
Yeah.
half of Rum and Coke, and of course, Coach Young, 2nd generation wrestler slash referee Katie Hebner, and many others, and also the most talked about the very much talked about Kid Bandit. So congratulations to y'all on that. And I know it wasn't easy. I heard many stories of people quitting at the beginning, in the middle, even at the end. So I tip my hat off to you in that situation.
I appreciate that, man. It was a long 3 months, but I had a blast. It was a lot of hard work. And before we even continue, I gotta continue the tradition that my buddy Chris Sampson had last time. There's a shout out to my boy Dom, my tag team partner from the West Coast, my Cali twin brother, supposedly. And this is to him, and special cheers to him and the rest of Class 3 of the Nightmare Factory.
Awesome. That's cool, man. So I gotta ask you, man, Rum and Coke, y'all were a very impressive tag team, man. I liked y'all's vibe. Y'all were mad over with the crowd. People were chanting for y'all. Brooke Havoc was enjoying that rose she got from you until Coach Young got in his feelings and snatched it away. But are we gonna see Rum and Coke again, man? Y'all are onto something with that tag team.
Man, I hope so, man. It was a blast tagging with Dom, and I can't say nothing but great things for him about him. It's just it's gonna happen. Whether it be in the near future or afterwards, it's definitely gonna happen. Rum and Coke needs to make the return to pro wrestling, go after some tag team gold, and be on top of the tag team division. But I would definitely 100% love to tag with Dom again.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, you're in Connecticut, and Rob, you're probably gonna get pissed off at me. Sean Hardy and Sean Carlson are probably gonna get pissed off at me, like Remy, what are you doing? But my co-host here, my brother from another mother here, Rob Bass, is actually a referee for 1CW. So you're not too far from Delaware. If Dominic can take the flight over, the trip over, maybe I can go to 1CW and challenge for the tag team titles, man. Start from there, man.
Wherever it will take us, that's where we'll be. Dom is more than welcome to come out here to the East Coast. I could go out to the West Coast. It doesn't matter. All over the country. I'm down definitely to tag with Dom and go after some gold.
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely cool, man. So I gotta ask you, man, like how did Pretty Poppy's love for professional wrestling start? What was the event or the pay-per-view that you saw that got you hooked and made you become a fan?
Oh boy, so we starting from the beginning. I love it. Well, to answer that question, definitely dating all the way back to the summer of 2007. I actually had just moved into a new home, and I met my next door neighbor. His name is Stephen Foley. No relation to Mick Foley at all, but he actually was the one that introduced me to pro wrestling. I got into it right after SummerSlam of '07, and he invited me over one day, say, "Hey, I'm watching wrestling," and I never watched wrestling before in my life, and immediately I got hooked on with seeing guys like Batista, The Undertaker, Fit Finley, and MVP and Rey Mysterio, and all these different guys on SmackDown. SmackDown was always my show growing up, and that's how I initially got involved in professional wrestling.
Ah, that's cool. 2007. Wow, what happened in 2007? DX was actually broken up due to injury by that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rated RKO. Rob, what happened in 2000? Oh, he had the Great Khali. I think he debuted that time. No, that was too late. He debuted in 2006. 2007 was when Kane body slammed them at WrestleMania 13. No, 23.
23, yep, was 2007.
Oh, and that was when Randy Orton finally embraced his whole Viper gimmick, where he was punting people in the heads and
Yep.
acting all psycho and whatnot. Oh, and your coach Cody Rhodes debuted that same year too. I'll never forget that.
It's insane to think about it like that. Yeah, the same year I got into wrestling was the same year he debuted, and it just comes full circle now with being coached by him and going to his school and everything in Georgia.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I tell you, you guys and gals down there at Nightmare Factory, you already put in some work, man. And I really enjoy watching those student showcases. I haven't seen the fourth one. I haven't seen the fifth one yet either. I'm definitely gonna get on that though. But the third one, man, y'all had some OMG moments, man. Some real OMG moments, and I'll never forget. Like for example, with Parker Lee hitting Raiden the Canadian Destroyer with the Canadian Destroyer. That was, of course, like I said, you giving Brooke Havoc a rose, and then Coach Young getting all pissed off and taking it away from her and destroying it. You had
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Coach Young, he still owes her a rose, and I will bug him to this day. Like, man, you owe Brooke Havoc a rose. She may have a boyfriend now, Allen, Coach Allen, as we refer him as, but yeah, Coach Young definitely owes her for that one.
I don't think Coach Young wants any smoke with Coach Allen. Trust me. Although I wouldn't mind seeing that the battle of the coaches. That would be a pretty hilarious match to see. Him trying to order his own coach. Like, hey, get back in there. What are you doing? You're not supposed to lock up like that.
Yeah, it was great working with like Coach Young, for example. Like he just like Chris Sanson said in the other interview That is Coach Young. That is Aaron 24/7. Um, During practice, outside of practice, in the ring, outside the ring. It's just insane to for him and me, myself, being new students, never wrestling before, never being trained prior, and being able to have our first match and it being against each other. It was definitely a cool moment to share, and he's definitely one of my favorite opponents.
Yeah, yeah, that was a great match that y'all had. Y'all had a lot of great matches on that card. I remembered the assassin AK-47, and then finding out he's Fuego del Sol's cousin, and then he was facing undeniable Michael Martinez, and I had no idea that he was Damian Priest's brother. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, not that we would care about that, because I mean, we interview anybody. I mean, we don't care. The fact that you go into that ring and put on a show for us, that's enough for us to want to talk to you. We don't care who you're related to. If you're related to them, if you're not related to them, it doesn't matter. But the fact that he actually confirmed that, was like, wow, that's well, you never know who you're talking to, you know?
Yeah, it was crazy because I actually got to meet Fuego del Sol down there in Georgia when I was training during the camp, and it's just crazy to like know people are related to other people, and wrestling is just such a cool and unique, but also strange world where everybody's close, but not really at the same time. So it's interesting going from being a fan to becoming a professional wrestler. And if you guys don't mind, I can actually get into that with how I got to the Nightmare Factory and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know something? I was gonna ask you that, like, I always like normally when I ask them like what made them become a fan, I normally ask them. We normally ask them, okay, well, how did your journey go from fan to being? Because it's always interesting to hear how people decided to become that one fan that said, you know something? I wanna cross the guardrail, but I want to do it the right way. I'm not gonna jump the guardrail. I want to climb over the guardrail and do what they're doing. And it's always interesting to hear that story. So, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll take it back first. So again, I became a fan of professional wrestling back in '07, watching WWE. I didn't know much of the indies and the Monday Night Wars back in the '90s with WCW and WF. I had to learn about that as I watch old tapes and old video footage. But I didn't get serious about becoming a professional wrestler until I want to say high school. I was playing football. I was on the wrestling team, and I told myself, you know what, around senior year when it's time for high schoolers to figure out what's next, what do you want to do next? Everybody going to college, going to the military. I told myself, well, I want to be a professional wrestler. That's what I've been a fan of. That's what I've loved. The only thing I had a passion for since I was a kid. So why not join the professional wrestling business? So I had come up with a plan basically to, find schools locally. Um, but I actually had to deal with my parents, you go to college, we'll support your dreams as becoming a professional wrestler. And when I say support my dreams, I mean more as far as supporting it morally, because with professional wrestling, I've had to financially support myself more with that. But after that, basically, I found a school out here in Connecticut in the New Haven area, uh, promotion that's called PWPA. I'm probably butchering that, and I do apologize to the promotion because I forgot to write the name down. But anyhow, I was grateful enough to be invited to a one night free trial and just get in the ring. All I was able to do was roll around, hit the ropes, and hit the turnbuckles. But after that initial getting inside the ring, I was hooked, and I said, "That's it. This is what I want to do." And fast forward, I signed up for a 1 day fantasy camp up in Massachusetts at New England Pro Wrestling Academy. And basically, what that consisted of was people signed up, fans from the area or wherever, and they got to learn basically the basics of being a professional wrestler, how to take bumps, how to hit the ropes, how to get in and out the ring properly. And it was a great experience. I loved it. I got to cut a promo at the end of the day, and it was just a fun experience. So Fast forward to that, my plan was right after college, I was going to, possibly move to Massachusetts, go to New England Pro Wrestling Academy, and start my life as a pro wrestler there. But then I had another option of moving out to Las Vegas actually, because I have a brother out there. So I figured, hey, I love Vegas. I've been there. It's a great city. I have family out there, and I found a professional wrestling school out there. So, long story short, I had planned to move out to Vegas, but then fast forward to the spring of 2020, and that's when the pandemic hit. And I was in my final semester of college before graduation, and you know, thanks to the pandemic and all, plans switched. I was just working after graduation, had no graduation ceremony because of COVID. And it wasn't until I saw the tweet that came out. And the tweet was from none other than Cody Rhodes. And he said, on the lines of, I will be opening up a school in Georgia. It's going to be a camp, a beginner's camp. More information will be sent out soon. I waited. I found information. I found the link to sign up. And I said, you know what? I got to go for it. This is what I wanted to do. What other better place to train than with Cody Rhodes? And not thinking at the time I was gonna, get accepted or anything, but I couldn't have that doubt in my mind. I said, nope, you got to sign up, you got to go for it, and I did. And something that a lot of people don't know is I actually got invited to the inaugural, the very first Nightmare Factory camp, and I got the phone call from Coach Carolyn, who's also the nutritionist at the school, and QT Marshall's wife. And basically, we talked, and I realized I was not financially able to afford the camp for the first one, but we kept in contact. Luckily, I have to thank her very much because she actually put me on the waiting list so that I was able to be invited back instead of having to go through the whole process of signing back up again and all that. So, long story short, Camp 2 comes around, and I was somewhat financially able to go, but not 100% there. So we both talked again, and we said, okay, let's wait for the next one. Camp 3 comes around. I'm finally able to afford going and traveling by myself to Georgia. And mind you, up until this point in my life, I've grown up in Connecticut my whole life. I've traveled, but I've never lived anywhere else but Connecticut. So this was all new to me. I actually drove down from Connecticut all the way down to Georgia to Norcross, and I basically packed up my bags and told myself, you know what? After this camp, who knows what's going to happen? But you're going to go to this camp, you're going to go for it, and you're going to follow your dreams. And fast forward to the best 3 months of my life so far. I met some amazing people. I got to train with so many cool people. I got to meet so many wrestlers that I never thought I'd meet. And I got to train under Cody Rhodes, QT Marshall, Glacier, Coach Luke, Alan Angels, Preston 10 from Dark Order, all these guys and girls that helped me to get to where I am and where I want to be in the future.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That it would have been cool if you made that first class, but at the same time, everything happens for a reason. At least you made the third class. You still you were still able to attend, and you can say you're a proud graduate of Nightmare Factory, the Nightmare Factory that has given us so many impressive men and women in professional wrestling. And man, I tell you, so many impressive. There's actually one guy, and I'm really hoping he's watching this. But there's a young man, you probably came across him, you may have met him in passing, or maybe you've even wrestled him, who goes by the name of Trip Jordy. And I can say right now, he is definitely one of our guys that we would definitely like to have on here from Nightmare Factory. And we know he's a busy man, but people like that, it's like when you see people like that, it's like, wow, like it's just like, y'all just got it going on, man. And Rude Dragon and the rest of them is it's just impressive what y'all do. I was even And you're probably gonna think that I'm actually just saying this in front of you because you're in front of me, but I'm not. But the second it was the showcase 2, and I watched it, and I remember that same month they had that and the WWE pay-per-view, which had the zombies. And I can tell you, I enjoyed y'all showcase more than that pay-per-view that we had. Than most of that pay-per-view, That's how much I enjoyed the showcase. And yeah, y'all just I'm actually I still gotta see showcase. I've only seen part of showcase 4. I've only seen the ladies match, but definitely gonna watch the rest of it eventually.
Yeah, that was definitely a rough pay per view to watch that during that showcase. I definitely can agree with that. And speaking of Trip Jordy, he's definitely a character, man. He was somebody that we would hang out with at the school and during camp and outside of class, and he's just a great dude. Can't him as well. I can't say nothing but great things about him. Him and Brooke Havoc, they're just like the dynamic duo as far as like they're like a siblings, like a brother and sister duo that you know they can get annoying at sometimes, but you just have nothing but love and respect for them because just like a lot of other people from the Nightmare Factory, they put in the work, they put in all the hours, and they just have such great personalities, and they're just great human beings, all in all. So I definitely love Trip. He's definitely a good brother for sure.
Yeah, and we actually found out more about Nightmare Factory from another guy you probably know, the Diamond Sheik. He was actually on our show, and it was through him training there and graduated class too that we got to like meet more people. I was like, I remember when he showed me the picture, I was like, okay, Sheik, we're gonna have you on the show, like we said before, because we have another segment called 15 Minutes of Fandom where we interview fans and so on. Sheik, the Diamond Sheik was actually on that before he started wrestling, and they were like, okay, well, we want to have you back. We're gonna have you back on now that you're a wrestler as a main guest, but after we're done with you, we want the rest of your class. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's also class 1. So we were like, okay, well, we're gonna try to get everybody from class 1 and class 2, and we got most people. We didn't get everybody, um, and now we're working on class 3. So yeah, man. But so now that you're done with your training, and Cody gave you that handshake, that pat on the back, and the rest of the coaches did the same and said, hey, congratulations, you are now officially a wrestler. You can go ahead and take bookings all over the country, if not over the world. And you're doing the show. You're teaming with Dominic Teixeira. Is it Teixeira or Texera? I don't want to get his name wrong.
It's Tex Sarah with
Texera.
the X. Yep,
My apologies,
you got it.
Dominic. But
He'll be all right.
but yeah, you team with Dominic Teixeira as rum and coke, and you're going against Sanson and Coach Young. What was your mindset? Were you nervous? Were you like, oh geez, I got to wrestle in front of all these people? I hope I don't mess up. I hope I don't let my team down. I hope I don't do something to mess up my opponents. Or were you like, something? I have had several weeks of training. I got this. Or was it a mixture of both?
It was definitely a mixture of both. I am somebody that is a nervous wreck just before going out there for any performance. Something that I didn't add when I was in college, I was actually part of a dance team for Latin dancing. So did all salsa, merengue, bachata, all that stuff. And we would have performances with that too. And we would go on stage and perform in crowds. I was always a nervous wreck before going out. But once I got out there, and the same thing with wrestling, once I got out there and got in the ring, my nerves went away and the confidence was just there. And I just felt at home. I just felt at peace. Anytime I'm inside a professional wrestling ring, I'm calm and I feel at home. There's no nerves at all. There was definitely nerves leaving the curtain and before backstage and making sure, like you said, hope I do good. Hope, you know, I impress the crowd and all that stuff and don't mess up. But once I'm out there, man, there's no better feeling. It's that adrenaline that just keeps me going and just doesn't make me stop. And I just love to be out there and performing, no matter what it is I'm doing.
Oh, that's cool, man. So now that you've actually have you gotten now? Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you gotten rest to rest on AEW yet?
No, I have not yet.
I honestly hope that happens for you as well. I know several of your classmates have been on there. Several of your schoolmates have been on there as well. And I've every time I see him, like for example, I just saw Hyena Hera on there. I
Hmm.
was very happy for her. And it's funny because I told her when her tag team partner from Showcase 2, Karma D, made a debut. I'm like, Hyena, you're next. Don't go too far. You're gonna be next on there. And lo and behold, it was several months later, she actually made it on. I was very happy for her. I'm always happy. One thing I love to see is when people work hard and they get rewarded. I love that. I'm always clapping for them, So I'm hoping the same thing for you. I'm hoping it happens as Rum and Coke. I'll be like, yo, Rob, guess who's on? Rum and Coke. I did that before with him. He'll even tell you. We had a guy, one of our guests, Danny Limelight, and I was like, I remember I called Rob. I'm like, Rob, turn on the TV, it was on YouTube. AEW. As we were watching on, I was watching on YouTube. I'm like, go on YouTube, and it was AEW Dark. I'm like, look who's on now. He's like, oh snap, it's Danny Limelight. So we're always happy, man, when y'all go on and do big things, you get signed and whatnot. We're always cheering for y'all, man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. And anytime anybody from Nightmare Factory or anybody that I know shows up on AEW Dark or Dark Elevation, I'm just ecstatic for them. Hyena, she was definitely one I was so happy for recently, and anybody else. Hopefully, Rum and Coke debuts on AEW Dark in the near future, or Pretty Papi as a single. I wouldn't mind, but I definitely appreciate the support, and I'm definitely looking forward to a great 2022.
Oh yeah. So several months ago, I mean, I know your coach Cody is back in WWE now. Congratulations. I was very glad that, he made his WrestleMania return and he did it big. But when he left back several years ago, he had a list of opponents that he wanted to wrestle in the near future. And, subsequently, several other wrestlers started doing the same thing, posting lists of their opponents they wanted to wrestle in the near future on social media. Who are Pretty Poppy's top five opponents that he wants to wrestle in the near future? It could be from anywhere: WWE, AEW, Impact, the Indies, even the Nightmare Factory.
Ooh, top five. That's a hard one, but definitely my coaches are at the top of the list, and I have a lot of coaches. So, but to narrow it down, I guess I'll start with dream matches. Um, Cody is definitely at the top with dream matches, and QT Marshall is next to him for that one. And my favorite professional wrestler ever is actually Brian Danielson. So he is actually another dream opponent of mine. And I would definitely love to wrestle some people from the factory that I didn't get to, obviously on the showcase or even in practice. Kid Ben is definitely up there. Uh, love that kid. He's go he's going places for sure. And so a quick story, which is gonna tie into this next person, Trevor Outlaw. He is definitely at the top of my list for guys I want to work with. He was actually my roommate back in Camp 3 down in Georgia. So if you can imagine the tough, badass, angry Trevor Outlaw rooming with Pretty Poppy, it was definitely a fun time in that house. So I either I have to fly out to Chicago and wrestle him, or him coming to Connecticut or wherever it may be. I know right now he's recovering from a knee injury, so I wish him the best of recovery. But just let it be known, Trevor, when you're healthy and ready to go, we got to run it, man. We got to run that match. So, and there's a couple other guys, but to tie into like currently right now, I'm actually training right now back in Connecticut and East Hartford at TOS Test of Strength. It is the TOS Dojo, so that is a promotion slash wrestling school here in Connecticut, and
Isn't that the one ran by Drew Onyx?
it's the one ran by Slick Wagner Brown, and
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
hmm and he was trained by Killer Kowalski. Yep.
Slick Wagner Brown. Yeah, he wears a Jamaican. Yeah, he comes to the ring with a Jamaican flag, right?
Yeah. Yep. He definitely did that a lot a couple years back.
Yeah, I remember.
So
I remember. I'm sorry, my bad.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I remember seeing because I tend to watch wrestling from like I try to watch wrestling every region because I
hmm
always tell people like if you're a real wrestling fan, you don't wait for somebody to get famous. You watch and see what's going on in every region. I mean, yeah, it's great to watch GCW and Major League Wrestling and so on, but like I'm talking like the real gist of like those independent promotions. Like for example, Connecticut, y'all have Chaos. Is it Chaotic Wrestling, right, or Chaos Wrestling, with where
So
Brian Fury used to be?
yeah, so chaotic. But that's actually up in Mass, so it's the state right above us.
Yeah,
Yep. hmm
and there's New England Championship Wrestling over there. Florida has
Yep.
I what FIP. I can't remember what they have. Georgia, obviously, you probably heard of this one, Anarchy Wrestling in Cornelia,
hmm
Georgia.
hmm
Uh, California has Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and Arizona has Championship Wrestling from Arizona. So I always like to look at those to see like who are like some of the big names over there in those promotions. And it's always like it's always funny to hear somebody when we ask somebody on this show, they mention somebody, and I'm like, yeah, I know that person. Like you know, they're actually they do this and this and that and that, and I tell you, now is definitely a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. There's just so much out there to watch. It's just a matter of making the effort to look for it and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Slick Wagner Brown. He's definitely on my list for guys I want to face. He's a great coach right now where I'm training at. Him and Bobby Brown. I said Bobby Brown. Wow, I'm gonna get in some trouble in practice. I think the claws get into me. Bobby Ocean. That is my other coach. And just a special shout out to them at TOS and Alex, the GM of TOS. They've been great to me, and they've been definitely helping to shape Pretty Poppy and getting me ready to get back on the indie scenes. Since I've only had one match, which was at the Nightmare Factory Showcase. And also shout out to Dan the Man, who is also part of TOS. He's definitely helped me with some feedback and helping me out with the Pretty Poppy persona with feedback and practice. So shout out to those guys. Definitely want to face all those guys for sure.
So I noticed with the roses, right? You give rose to ladies. Red means love.
Mm-hmm.
I think yellow means friendship. I think white means trust. But there is one particular rose. If you give it to a young lady or that special lady in your life, um, that means you would pretty much try your best to do the impossible for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been? Do you think there will come a time when you give somebody that a female that blue rose?
One can only dream, but as of right now, Pretty Poppy is about three things, and that is family, professional wrestling, and women, all in that order. So unfortunately, there's no pretty mommy right now, but hey, never say never.
Yeah, trust me. I'm still trying. Trust me. I'm this close to getting somebody to getting a young lady that blue rose. So I never thought it would happen, but yeah. Um, Rob, how about you, man?
I got three beagles to take care of. I'm good.
Wow, that's cool. Hey, they'll never turn on you, bro. Yeah. So with that being said, I just have like one last question before I turn it over to Rob. And so when you're in the gym knocking out some workouts or getting some cardio done, or when you're getting ready to wrestle, what are some songs that actually get you into that zone to knock out those reps or knock out that cardio, or get you ready for your opponents?
Ooh, that's a good question. So part of my playlist for the gym definitely have to be Eminem, Ti, and Kendrick Lamar. Those are my top three artists for when I'm in the gym and I need to get hyped up and lift heavy weights or do some cardio or any type of workout. Definitely those guys.
Awesome. Yeah, a favorite song of mine is Till I Collapse by Eminem. That's definitely one song I love to work out to.
Yes, yes.
But for the most part, I've always said with my playlist is all over the place. One minute you'll hear me listen to some Eminem, another minute it'll be Seven Dust, and then another minute it'll be some like random pop song, and then another minute it'll be maybe a wrestling entrance theme and so on. So I always say, whatever keeps you moving, whatever helps you knock out those reps.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely agree to like having a different variety of music, but when it comes to the gym, depending on what type of workout, I definitely like to switch it up too. So wrestling music, I can definitely relate to. Um, right now, I know Cody's theme song is hot right now on the playlist now that he's back in WWE. So I know a lot of people are playing his theme song and so forth.
Yeah, my songs. Let's see, the wrestling songs I like to work out to are God, the rap song that I think is called. I know it is Ain't Nobody, but it's for God, Gorillas of
Mhm.
Destiny. And then there's another one by that Rocky Romero did for Roppongi 3K almost 5 years ago. When I heard that song, that automatically became part of my playlist. And at one point, several years ago, I used to work out to Real America by Hulk Hogan. And yeah, that's pretty much at one time I had like a lot of wrestling songs I used to work out to, but like those are the last three that I worked out to in recent memory.
Yep, yep. Yeah, Triple H's theme song for Motorhead is definitely one of my top favorites for workout playlists.
Ah, cool, cool.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and turn over to Rob. I know Rob has some questions for you. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Hermie. So what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Doing good, Rob. Thank you.
How's the drink going, man? Pretty good. Tastes pretty good.
Yeah, man. I got a Claw Seltzer Black Cherry. Again, shout out to Dom. He pretty much put me on to the seltzers down in Georgia, and
Oh,
um,
nice.
so yeah, got to thank him for that.
Yeah, I never got into the seltzers, man. I don't know. They were probably out when I would, partake in the alcohol and stuff. But yeah, when I was a kid, man, it was like Mad Dog 2020. I would drink Boone's Farm. You know, what I mean, it'd be anything. You know, what I mean, get a hold of, man. Like, yo, just give me anything. You know, what I mean, like, here's some Boone's Farm. Like, all right, as long as it wasn't O'Doul's. You know, what I mean, I know somebody tried to be like, yo, here's some beer. We got some O'Doul's. And be like, man, ain't got no alcohol in there, man. Go on somewhere. But it was funny giving people O'Doul's and stuff and be like, yeah, letting them think they were getting drunk and stuff, you know what I mean? Not letting them know and they not knowing. It's like, oh, that was funny.
You gave him the placebo effect. Okay, that's
That's
a good
right.
one.
So, man, yeah, man, I gotta say, did you catch any WrestleMania?
Oh, absolutely. I watched both night one and two, and I had a blast hanging out with friends
What
and eating, drinking, all that.
what night did you like better, man? Did you like one or two?
I'd have to say night one, and I know people are gonna say, you're biased because Cody came out, but not just because of Cody, but because of the rest of the night. I just liked how it was all layered out, and just how the flow of the whole night one came out was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like night one also, man. It was probably my favorite one. I was feeling like I was under the weather and missed night two and Raw and all that. I had to go back and watch it, but yeah, I feel yeah, and I like night one better too. And it was crazy because where I was watching it at, there was a bunch of wrestlers and all that from 1CW there with the guy who invited us. You know, his family was there. So like like with Drew McIntyre's swinging the sword, gonna cut it and all. Kill him, stab him. You know what I mean? And then the ropes breaking. It's like, oh man, I got a heart attack. That's $6 grand right there, 3 grand, whatever. Oh man, it's like, oh well, Vince got that. You know what I mean? He's good. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah, I didn't know how I felt about the rope break either. I was like, oh, so are we gonna have like 5 commercials back to back for them to fix it up? But you know how WWE got the money and the guys to get in there and fix it up real quick, so it worked out.
oh yeah. I was like, oh man, we're going to wait there, wait for everybody to tighten up the ropes and do all that good stuff, man. Oh, I remember one of the first times I was setting up, doing ring setup, man. We were tightening up ropes, and you get it in there, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Hmm.
Well, I'm tying it, but I was turned around like this, talking to somebody, and I was going right my way, but left, the way you're supposed to. So I'm going right, like yeah. It's like, why is this not tightening up? Why not? And then boom, it shot off and stuff. And I was like, oh Lord, I'm fired. My wrestling career done before it even started. I'm done.
Yeah, we actually had a similar similar situation at our last event happen to us with TOS, where we had a unfortunate rope break before the show.
Mm.
Luckily, we were able to, last minute make some adjustments, so we were able to pull the show together and pull one hell of a show. So, but we definitely had that similar situation happen with the ropes.
Oh yeah. Shows, man. Anything can happen. I mean, we do live TV tapings there too. In one CW two, one CW CCW. Yeah, man. Yeah, crazy stuff happens. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, "All right, Rob, you're refing tonight and stuff." Then, I'll leave, come back. It's like, you know what? You're ring announcing or whatever. I'm like, all right. And I get there, get my suit on, be like, I'm sorry to say this again, but you're back to refing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. Gee, all right. Gotta keep going, man. Oh. Yeah, and it is nerve wracking, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, doing live TV and stuff. It's like, you gotta go out and kill time. You know what I mean? Kill 1 minute. They're still doing promos. Like, oh man, all right. Let me try and remember some jokes or something. So I gotta ask, man, from wrestling and training and stuff, man. Like, I felt this when I got in like repping in the ring and stuff. Like when I would sit out in the crowd and listen, I could hear everything. Everybody, chattering like, cheering and stuff. But when I got in that ring, I couldn't hear any of that, like once in a while I hear like, like, let's go Poppy, something like that, like I'll
Hmm.
hear that, but everything else, like, I don't hear anything. Is that the same way with you? Does that happen to you?
Yeah, that definitely happened with me. Even when I'm in practice, it's something. It's kind of a bad habit that I got to get out of because in pro wrestling, when you're in the ring and you're a wrestler, you want to listen to the crowd, you want to listen to the fans and listen how they respond, and that pretty much can, you know, make or break a wrestler if they can listen or not. And
Mhm.
it goes back to like my amateur days when I was, wrestling in high school or even playing football. We're taught, tune the crowd out and tune everybody out and just focus on your match or focus on the game and just listen to your coaches. That's the only ones you should listen out for.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a bad habit to like get out of, to where now I'm allowed to listen to everybody. I'm allowed to open my ears up and listen to everybody. So I've definitely had that, but I remember going back to the showcase where I was able to listen to the crowd and listen to the chants of Poppy and Rum and Coke and listen to the excitement, and that actually helps me and helps us because it's like that energy, it just gives you more, adrenaline and excitement, and it just helps out with the match and putting everything together.
That's pretty cool, man. Now you were mentioning, amateur wrestling and stuff. I used to do that too when I was in school. When you did it, how did states run with your way? Did you have just everybody in the state, competes at the same time, or did you have different divisions or whatever? Because here in Delaware, if like you're in the 125 weight class, everybody in varsity in the state that wrestles 125, pretty much guaranteed, yeah, you got a chance at the states, you know what I mean? So did y'all have, like, stuff like that, or was it like, we got Division A, 2A, 3A, whatever?
Yeah, so in Connecticut, it's weird because Connecticut's not a huge state, but wrestling is pretty big in Connecticut. But looking at it from a across the country, we're pretty small on the scope. But it definitely was, by different divisions, different classes. My high school was part of the Class L, and it was basically everybody in your weight class, would have state qualifiers, and if you qualified, you go to state, and then if you made the state, you would face somebody else from in New England's from a different class or division from the state. So yeah, it was a little bit different where there's different classes and divisions, and you had to qualify to make it to states. And then if you made the states, you had to qualify for New England and so forth.
Yeah, I remember we had had open conference, tournaments or whatever. That was basically more for seeding. I mean, if you
Hmm.
won that, you get a higher seed, and you place low, you get a lower seed or whatever. I remember it was like that. Like, I remember like a couple years, like I didn't even go to it because it was like I didn't lose this year, so you know what I mean. Like I'm good. You know what I mean. I'm already in the states, so yeah, I'm good to go. So yeah, a couple years, I was like, yeah, I'm not even doing that. So yeah, yeah. But wrestling, I love wrestling stuff, man. How do you feel about using amateur wrestling stuff? Getting in the ring, doing that, man. You're like, oh man, just bring me back.
Oh, I love it. One of my favorites of all time is Kurt Angle, and the
Hmm.
way he was able to transition to amateur to professional and include some amateur moves in the professional wrestling ring is awesome. And that's something that I want to try to do and incorporate in my move set. And another interesting fact about me, I actually currently coach amateur wrestling at the youth level, and I've been doing that for about 4 years now. So I'm a assistant coach here in Bristol, Connecticut. Shout out to Bristol Gladiators and all the rest of the coaching staff. And as of this year, it's pretty cool, and it comes full circle because my high school wrestling coach, who coached me and he taught me wrestling, he actually retired from coaching for the high school level, but he kind of unretired, and then he ended up joining our coaching staff. So it's pretty cool getting to work side by side with the man that trained me and taught me, and he's still a mentor to me to this day. So shout out to Brian Lishnis for that. And yeah, man, I love wrestling, whether it's amateur, professional. I just love all of it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I was that way too. I just loved wrestling, man. I remember going out there, man. I was like, man, I needed to perfect a takedown, a top move, and a bottom move, and I'm good to go. You know what I mean? Just let me do that, and I'm good. Because whenever I got on top, I always got wrist control, man. Then try to get the legs in, and start riding you. Have you ever, man? There's one move I wanted to get off was the guillotine, man. I never got to pull it off, man. I've come close. I've gotten the arm back here, like trying to get it, but I never got it. That was the one thing I wanted to get. Because I remember the coaches put that on me in practice, and they squeezed me a little too hard, and some air came out of the back end and stuff, I mean, made everyone laugh. So I was like, I got to put this on somebody. It's going to make me do this, but, I never got to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was also not able to get that, but I've also been on the receiving end of that move, and I was the same way though. Just learning the basics and trying to get at least one move perfected, and
Hmm.
just pray to God that it worked every time. So I was definitely in the same boat as far as that.
Yeah, I used to shoot off the whistle, get a low single and stuff, and, try and get them off balance. And once you're like, boom, I got that other leg band, and I work my way up, what I mean? Stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
and
move
then,
was.
yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I get up like that, wrist control, go over back points, get the five, get my three, get you back over, like roll you back over, what I mean, maybe let you back up, take you back down, because I was into the tech falls, what I mean, because I was like, I want to embarrass you. Anybody can get pinned. I want to beat you real bad in front of your mom and your girlfriend, and what I mean, I want to crush you, crush that spirit.
You were a real life heel back then, I see.
Oh yeah. Because I've been caught in the cement mixer before. I've shot in somebody's
Ooh,
straws, like, oh, no, bam. I'm like, oh, man, I'm done. You know what I mean? What in the
yeah,
world did I do? Oh, yeah, so, yeah. Tech fall, you gotta, yeah.
yeah. I was either a blast double or a duck under kind of guy, and
Ooh,
back
okay.
then, my cardio wasn't the best back then, so my technique was the opposite, where I would try to hit the duck under, get a takedown, and just try to pin them as fast as I could, so I wouldn't have to keep on going and be exhausted by the end of the match. But
Yeah, that's pretty cool, yeah. Oh, man, I love those amateur days, man. Great, great, great times, great times. So you're talking about your training and stuff right now, man. Do you have any bookings coming up or anything, or anything you can let us know about?
so, well, to understand why I'm currently not booked or the story behind that, I got to go back till after the Nightmare Factory camp. So basically, graduated from the Nightmare Factory, and Cody and QT told us like, listen, go back and move back wherever you guys were from, and use what we taught you, and go out there and get booked and get the recognition and the popularity and the notice, so that hopefully either AEW or WWE can notice you guys and get signed. So that's what I did. I ended up moving back to Connecticut, but unfortunately, um, the job that I had that was lined up that I was going to return to, that I left when I went to Georgia, laid me off, and
Mm.
I was unemployed for about 2 months straight after Camp 3, and just scratching and clawing to try to find a job. And obviously, we were still in a pandemic, so it was hard to find a decent job that was going to support my wrestling training and wrestling dreams. So, uh, fast forward now, I currently have a full time stable job, luckily. So, and then I was able to find TOS locally. So now I'm training with them. I've been training with them since the end of January. So almost about 2.5 months now. And right now the goal is to get booked with them and as my home promotion, and try to get other bookings across Connecticut and New England, with different promotions out here. Northeast Wrestling (NEW) is the big one that I'm looking to hopefully get book with one in the near future.
Mm.
So right now, currently not booked, but looking for bookings, and I am, ready to go, and I can't wait to get back in front of a live crowd and have a match.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I hope like you get a booking soon, man. That'd be awesome, man. So I gotta ask, from traveling like, from Connecticut to, down to Nightmare Factory and stuff and traveling around and stuff. Do you have any funny, traveling stories you like to share? Like maybe being up in the mountains or something, come across Bigfoot or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, something crazy happened.
I actually have a funny traveling story. When I was visiting Vegas, visiting my brother on a family vacation. We actually came across, when we were going to the Hoover Dam out in Nevada, and we stopped by this gas station right before we were heading back. And right when I got out the car and I was ready to go into the gas station to get something to drink or a snack, this bobcat just comes out of nowhere
Ooh.
and just starts creeping up on me, and I'm just like, just a kid from Connecticut, never had this interaction before. So basically, I guess the funny part for the rest of my family watching, but not me at the time, was I ended up, walking slowly. That wasn't working, and I just zoomed inside the convenience store real quick and had a bobcat chasing me. But luckily, the bobcat did not get me. I made it alive in one piece, and the bobcat ended up, walking away, and I was good after that. But definitely a wild experience with that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's the first one. I've never had somebody getting chased by a bobcat and stuff, you answer that, man. That's oh man. Man, yeah, they probably would have to clean up after me in that store or whatever, man. I'd be like, I'm sorry, you give me the mop, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, because I'm the same way as you. I'm in Delaware, we got deer, raccoon, possums, squirrels. That's it. I see a
Yeah.
bobcat, yeah, I'm soiling myself, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's funny because I go into the store and the lady just looks out there like, "Oh yeah, that's normal." And I'm just like, "Not where I'm from, lady."
Yeah. She's like, oh, that's Whiskers. He lives out back by the dumpster and stuff. Like, I ain't messing with Whiskers. No, 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 no. He gonna eat
Yeah,
me alive. Mm.
I guess the only other experience that, I don't know, less funny but more cool, was that, going on the south. I'd never been to Georgia before. Never took a vacation. Never traveled there. First time in Georgia. First time living there. Never experienced a Waffle House until I got down there.
Mm.
So I got with a couple buddies for a couple of times to go out there, and our favorite thing to do actually was on the weekends. We would have off from training, as we would all go out and go karaoke, and then have some drinks and sing some songs, and it was just a great time. It was just funny, and just seeing a bunch of drunken dudes trying to sing that can't sing and have no reason to have a live mic other than professional wrestling. So yeah, that was a great time with the boys.
Yeah, hey, I love karaoke also, man. So yeah, I ain't hating on that, man. I do the same thing. I love karaoke. I can't sing, but hey, I'll go sing. I don't care. I'll go out and hit those Adele high notes. I don't care. I'll sing the Michael Jackson and Prince and stuff. You know what I mean? Let's go. So before I pass it on back to Remy, man, I do gotta ask, are there any new movies or TV shows you're into right now? Because I'm always trying to find something new, man. I get stuck, kind of watching the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, I haven't really been, and it's sad because I love movies. Um,
Hmm.
I know recently I just went to the movies with my boy Derek. We went to go see Ambulance that just came
Oh,
out.
okay.
That one I highly recommend for everyone to go see. It blew my expectations than what I originally thought it was going to be about. So that was a pretty good movie. I'm into different genres. Action. I'm a big horror movie guy, and
Ooh,
I
okay.
recently saw the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. Uh, wasn't a huge fan of it, but definitely interesting on how it was a new take on the new generation and like the modern day. So that was definitely something. But new shows, I'm a big fan of The Rock, and anybody that knows me, like anybody that trains with me, knows that I'm a big Rock guy. So currently, I'm watching Young Rock, the new season that just came out. I believe they have a new episode coming out tonight or
Okay.
tomorrow night. Yep. So been watching that right now, but not too many new TV shows. Just trying to catch up with the new movies and stuff like that. And I know Sonic just came out, so I'm looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm ready for the Sonic one too. I like the first one, man. That one surprised me. I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and I was like, oh man, it's actually good. I'm ready for number two. But yeah, I'm ready for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim Carrey is one of my all-time favorite actors and comedians, so it's great to see him still doing movies and just doing his thing.
Yeah, after Ace Ventura, I remember, man, my brother used to talk with his butt for like maybe it was like a year. You know what I mean? He'd come up to you and be like, "Let me ask you a few questions." You'd be like, "Oh my God!" People would come up to me and be like, "Man, your brother was messing with it. He was talking out of his ass," and I'm like,
The amount of times I would get in trouble in school for doing the loser that he would do from Ace Ventura. Oh man.
"Yeah." Oh man, yeah, yeah, I love those movies, man. Yeah, I can watch them all the time, man. Yeah, that the second one where with the rhino, that's probably I've never laughed almost as hard as I ever like. I almost like peed myself and was like, I need a diaper or something because I couldn't believe they were going to show this. I was like, wow, oh man, but yeah, man. Before I pass it on back to Remy, I do want to say, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us, man. Definitely had a blast. Man, I hope you start, getting bookings all over the country, start kicking butt, getting titles everywhere. You know what I mean? We start seeing you on TV and all the good things happen to you and your family and all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And before I go back to Remy, I just want to say I love that Mandalorian poster you got in the background. Um, Star Wars is one of my all-time favorites, if not
Oof.
my favorite movie of all time and franchise. So I definitely enjoyed the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. So I'm looking forward to the new Obi-Wan show coming out and any other new Star Wars projects that they got coming out.
Now, I'm Boba Fett, man. I thought it got good until Mando came in. I was like, I don't know what it was, man. I was like, man, this is kind of slow and stuff. And then when Mando come in, I was like, all right, it got way better. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it was like relating to wrestling. It was like when Hogan teaming up with Macho Man. It was like you had two badasses just in one show, just wreaking havoc. And yeah, definitely when Mando came out was when the show really got excited and picked up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm ready for the Obi-Wan one also, man. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I want to see how it goes and all that. And I like the previews, man. You got to see a young Luke and all that. I was like, okay, yeah, here we go. And then I heard Vader's going to be in it, so
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Obi-Wan is definitely my favorite Star Wars character of all time. So to be excited is an understatement when with this show that's coming out. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
yeah. I always like Chewie, man, because I could be like, because I can do that and stuff, man. So I'm like, man, where's the Wookiee call? There we go. I can do that with my dad.
I'm jealous, man. I can't do that one, but that's pretty awesome. I love Chewie
Yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah. Chewie's cool, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I just want to say, yeah, just I hope all the good things happen to you and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll pass it on over to Remy, man.
Thank you, man.
Pretty Poppy, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We are very grateful for this. We know we had a late start. Once again, that's not how we normally roll. Today was just that day, and we couldn't really control it.
Hey,
But
Remy, no need to apologize, man. I've been there, and like I was telling Rob, I've been unemployed, so sometimes you got to count your blessings, man. Be grateful we got a job, and be grateful we're able to support ourselves. Because I've been on the receiving end of running late for sure. So uh, it's all good, man.
yeah, so with that being said, once I wish you all the best with your training up in Connecticut. I hope that you end up making a name for yourself, and eventually you get to, not just the tour, not just the country, but tour the world as well. A bit of advice: if you ever get a chance to wrestle in Japan, take it with a smile and go. You will enjoy it. I've been stationed in Japan for 3 years, and I love the place. If I could go
That
back, I definitely would.
that's definitely on the bucket list to wrestle in Japan and visit Japan. That's definitely a dream of mine that I've had since even before wrestling. When I was a kid, I've always wanted to visit Japan. So yes, definitely that's on the list to do.
And make sure you get your Akibara wrestling jacket from the steakhouse. I think that's like I think it's probably a rite of passage for all professional wrestlers.
Hmm.
Even the greats like Hulk Hogan have done it. John Cena got his own. So yeah, make sure whenever you get there, you definitely get your jacket from them as well.
Yeah, that's definitely on the to do list. I've heard of the great and funny stories about Japan and the rite of passage and getting the jacket. That's definitely something I want to add to the Pretty Poppy wardrobe.
Yeah. So before we shut down the show and let you go, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out where your next appearances, purchase Pretty Poppy merchandise, or Rum and Coke merchandise? I'm speaking it into existence. You guys will reunite. Or and where can bookers or promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
So if you want to follow me, you can follow me at the Pretty Poppy. That's for IG, Instagram, and for Twitter. And if anybody promoters want to hit me up to get booked, you can DM me on either through Twitter or IG, or you can email me at prettypoppy@gmail.com.
Awesome. So y'all definitely make sure y'all give this man a follow. He's doing great things, and he's definitely gonna be one to watch in the near future. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. The thing about wrestling is that you never know where somebody's gonna be in a matter of a year, a couple of months, a week, heck, maybe even a day. We've seen with it. Me, Rob, and myself have seen it with our own two eyes, where we had our 50 minutes of fandom guests, Jay Lee Photography, and they ended up Jay Lee AC Photography, and they end up being hired by CCW next day. So you as and that was as their official photographer too. So as the official photographers for CCW. So you never know where somebody's gonna be. So definitely follow this man, and that way when he does make it to WWE or AEW, you'll be like, yeah, I was following him before he got signed, man. Make sure you get his merchandise. So that way when people say, yo, I got that new Pretty Poppy shirt from WWE Shop or Shop AEW. Oh yeah? I got this one that you can't get when he was on the Indies. Yeah, tough luck. You know, yeah, but definitely, follow this man, support indie wrestling. It's a great feeling when you do so, and you see a lot of great moments there as well. But that's another story for another day. But once again, Pretty Poppy, thank you very much. And we definitely hope to see. We're definitely looking forward to seeing more of you on TV. We're definitely looking forward to seeing you on TV in the near future as well. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut the show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for a nap and a snack. Maybe not in that order, but who knows? But before I indulge in those activities, Rob Bass, my brother from another mother, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Ghost, no, the Tommy to my Ghost, and heck, I'll even do a special one, the Rum to my Coke. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next experiences, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, Rob_base82, and then Facebook, YouTube, Rob Base. And also April 23rd, 1CW, we're having a show in Houston, Delaware. Doors open at 5. Doors open at 5. Show starts at 6. I'll be up there. I think I'm ring announcing, so you can catch me out there ring announcing. We got an awesome card going on. I'm not sure who the matches are yet. I'll get it up. Hanging up here when the poster's ready. But yeah, April 23rd, I'll be there. And if you want, you can go to DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com. We're on every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, and then after 10, it's on demand. You can catch us anytime you want. Just type in 1CW, and you can see the guys and gals from 1CW, CCW. Like Mr. Grimm, the Renegade Twins, Kyle and King. Miles Millennium, Bad Banks, all that good stuff. Catch them every morning. So definitely check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, y'all definitely don't sleep on one CW. They have a lot of and CCW. They have a lot of impressive men and women there. And
Yeah,
I'm
that.
actually
Oh, sorry, Remy. Sorry to cut you off, Remy. Rob just reminded me too. Just a quick plug, but if you guys want to follow Test of Strength on Facebook, that's where you can find all of our future events where we're going to be having them, either in Connecticut or out of state. So please give them a follow, and it would be greatly appreciated. And also, I will try my best to keep you guys updated when I'm finally booked and when I'm going to be on the TOS shows in the near future.
awesome. Does TOS have any weekly episodic shows on YouTube or Fight or Independent Wrestling TV or
So all of our home shows will be streamed live on Facebook and then posted again on Facebook after the live stream is over. And any away shows will usually be posted either on Instagram or the link will be reposted on Facebook.
awesome? So y'all definitely make sure you check out Test of Strength and their shows. Like I said, you don't have to be from the area to check out the local promotion. If I was in Japan and I was watching wrestling that was based in Oregon, California, Arizona, Florida, and just pretty much several states, there should be no reason why you're a couple of states away and can't see what's going on in Connecticut or Delaware or any other state that you're not in. So, or any other region that you're not in. So definitely, I'm not trying to tell you how to live, but I'm just saying, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to check it out. It's always a great thing. But yeah, definitely follow Test of Strength. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue, and also on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group as well. Just type in Ringside Society, you'll find us. We're on Blog Talk, we're on Spotify, and we're also on YouTube where we have most of our wrestling content. Definitely go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society. Once you see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. Check out all our interviews like this one, like the one we had with Sanson, the Assassin AK-47, Undeniable Michael Martinez, and many other people from the Nightmare Factory. And also make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to all our videos because, like I said, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So you don't want to miss a thing because you'll definitely regret it. But with that being said, I just said definitely twice. Wow, I must be really tired. But anyways, yeah, definitely follow us on YouTube. We also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have shirts, hoodies, tank tops, long sleeve shirts. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. Definitely check our store out. Cop some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping the show afloat. It does not go back into our pockets. And with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in tonight live. We really and truly appreciate it. We know we're not the best, but we try to bring you some of the best wrestling content a wrestling fan should watch and listen to. To those of y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we ain't going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. But with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here at Ringside Society are very well known with everybody and their grandparents and their parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for Nightmare Factory Class 3 graduate, one half of Rum and Coke, Pretty Papi.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we will be back tomorrow night with another impressive guest for another impressive episode. But until then, we just want y'all to do four, and we mean four favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.